All right, guys. It is time for episode number 3 of the King of Cannons. Up here in the top left, the man himself. The guy we've just found out in episode number 2 is quite humble and also likes adding to the hype by surprising us with some surprising results and always some action-packed games. Up here in the top left, the spreadsheet king himself, the master of data entry. It is printf. If you guys don't understand that reference, you got to check out his stream. He methodically records every single game in a spreadsheet. It's actually really cool. I find it quite motivating seeing how driven he is. Now down here in the bottom right, we have your typical NA ladder player who is so traumatized by printf that he goes for Overlord into 14 pool into 15 gas, one of the shittiest openings I've ever seen in my life. It's eggs. So this is a blatant attempt to hard counter the cannon rush. The thing is, if printf is flexible enough, like I love eggs, he's a great guy, but I just feel like these NA ladder players have really got to learn how to defend a cannon rush. Like there are so many high GM players who try to beat printf's cannon rushes by like blind countering it so hard. And the thing is, like, it's okay to blind counter it, but there's more reliable ways than going for a 14 pool. It's a Ravager. 14 pool Ravager. I don't know, man. I feel like you're so predictable here. So notice how as soon as he saw this, printf immediately walled off in a really safe location. Doesn't need to commit anything more because he knows there's no danger until the Ravagers are out. Takes a gas, chronoed probes, and he's just going to try to reinforce this position and get up some Stalkers at the front. Do you reckon he gets a Robo as well, guys? I reckon I wouldn't mind a 2-gate Stalker variation here. I feel like Stalkers get the job done. I feel like you don't even need Immortals if they ruin their own economy this hard. I think you can just use Stalkers. Either works. We'll see what he thinks he can squeeze in. Cybercore drops at home. Roaches are already on the way. I mean, as much as I was making fun of Egg's way of doing this, guys, these Roaches are so insanely early, he might actually change my mind. Because this is actually so fast that it might work. I don't know, dude. Yeah, like printf's realizing he needs to put a lot of cannons. It looks like he's definitely trying to get the Robo up. I don't know if he's going to get there. I mean, the thing is, you've got so little reinforce behind this. Your economy sucks. Eggs needs to clear this out, right? Sure, Eggs can get free damage on the cannons. The moment an Immortal's on the field, it is going to take these Ravagers to Dicktown. Yeah, the Bile's going to start to come down. I mean, Shield Battery is dropping, but he doesn't even have the money to start an Immortal. He's got to just Chrono Stalkers out here and Shield Batteries, and that's how you do this. Doesn't even use a second gateway, just 1-gate Stalker and Micro is how he's going to deal with this. Now, Eggs has already taken a few hits from these cannons. Dude, you got to be careful. You can't take those hits. Ooh, and the Stalker's out. The Stalker's out. Cancel, printf. Cancels at the last second. Ooh, nicely done. Chronoing more Stalkers. He needs these batteries desperately. This Stalker needs to pick off one of these Ravagers quickly. Otherwise, that cannon's going to be gone in the next wave of Biles, guys. But remember, the Ravager reinforce is weak. There's only one transfuse that's about to kick in behind this. These Ravagers very low. printf there, focusing the weak Ravager. Ooh, accidentally walled in one of his Stalkers, but now he's got 2 Stalkers. The Ravagers are going to be taking way more damage, and I think printf might have managed to hold on to this position. He's actually doing a really good job. There's only 3 Ravagers left, so they're back to their base count. He's trying to make more, but there's Stalkers here. I mean, there's batteries there, there's good energy there, and every time that cannon's able to land hits, that's pretty massive too. Now, that cannon does fall. It's just the Stalker DPS. That's a problem. They do not deal nearly as much DPS as the cannon, but there's 3 of them. Oh, he's got to keep everyone alive. They're so weak. Another cannon's about to finish there, but Biles are already landing on them. He's trying to pull back. That cannon in the back actually got a few hits off. Both sides barely hanging on here. This Stalker's like, oh man, just anything. The thing is, if he could, he's got the money, but he doesn't have the space to put down more shield batteries. They keep getting sniped as they go down, and that's kind of the problem for printf right now. But a second Stalker comes out, so yeah, it's going to be 2 Stalkers, third one on the way. If these batteries finish, that's going to be huge for him. He's got to try and create space for himself where possible. Egg starts link speed and pulls back, and I think that should be game. I think printf wins the game. If this doesn't get removed, I don't know how Eggs breaks out. He loses another Ravager just to damage. The batteries are finished. 3 Stalkers are out. Eggs pulls back. Behind this, there was a Robo transition at home. I think printf actually thought he was going to lose this position and was preparing to build Immortals and a Prism at home. Either way, that's some important tech that's going to be very powerful versus what Eggs has. Another Ravager gets focused down, and this is really bad. Eggs is in huge trouble right now, even with these super fast Ravagers. The shield battery. even with the fast Ravagers, unable to remove this position from printf. And it's nasty. It's nasty. He's in trouble. I actually really think he should have ran past with his first Ravagers. I'm going to do a little replay analysis at the end of this one and tell you guys how I think Eggs could have crushed printf in this game. Maybe not crushed, but I think it would have been the correct strategic decision. We'll take a look in a sec. Spines, Roaches, Ravagers here trying to take down the Stalkers. One Stalker falls. Uh-oh. Is this position actually going to get ransacked? It looks like it might. That cannon's gone. The shield batteries are out of energy. That cannon in the back has actually added a few really important pot shots whenever Eggs goes too deep. These Stalkers here. Another one goes down. Both sides trading out, but it's a 25 probe Protoss versus a 14 drone Zerg, and that's the real problem. Another Stalker's coming. We've got a Prism on the way, and Immortal is queued up as well. That cannon in the back takes a few biles to the head. And Eggs here on a terrible economy, just trying to hang on, but it's trying to build spines, but like they're not going to help. I feel like spine crawlers are accepting defeat. It's trying to create like an anchor of defense, a safe zone, but the Queen gets focused. These Roaches just unable to keep up with the Stalkers. Their ability to move in and out, to stutter step, very powerful. And oh, that Ravager Cocoon. I'd actually focus the Ravager if I was printf there. Not going to go for it. He's going to go for the building Spine Crawler. Knowing that can't micro, just has to cancel and rebuild there. Well done. There is one Immortal out at home. Unfortunately, he cannot fight free. Will he clear the Forge and come out? I do not know. 4 Stalkers versus 4 Ravagers. I mean, Zerglings are good versus Stalkers, but one hatchery production is just terrible. The Zerglings are not going to be able to keep up. And notice how he can dodge the projectiles. If he picks up these Stalkers while the Ravager projectiles are in midair, they actually don't do the damage. Not too many dodges like that from printf, but he did get a couple in there at the start of that fight. And look at this Zerg defense. Eggs is just looking frail right now. Looking unable to deal with this. And it looks like, yeah, printf here. Gonna just warp in more Stalkers. Eggs trying to move spines down here. He's gonna try and break through. I mean, this is such a, it's meant to be a big, like, overwhelming, crushing engage. But look at this. printf doesn't give a crap. These Stalkers say, "What are you trying to do there, buddy? Or what is it you're trying to do again?" Sorry, mate. Couldn't kill a single Stalker in that engage. Absolutely shut down. But yeah, let me talk about what I think he should have done. I think he had a window to send those 3 Roaches across the map. Because he got these 3 Roaches out so early, right? So let's take a look at this. So if we go back to this point in the replay. I mean, he's doing damage here, right? He's kind of got to break out. But if he goes across the map, printf needs to react pretty damn hard. So if you've already, as Eggs at this point, if you got the Overlord here, you run across, and then you at least force printf to immediately put down cannons. Maybe you just commit your 3 Ravagers and then you just start breaking through with your other Ravagers. And if he recalls Stalkers or builds a bunch of cannons, your Overlord will see that happening. And you immediately turn around, come back, and try to break through the front. I don't know if this works off one base. That's something I would use a lot if the cannons were like out here or something. And I had 2 bases up. That's what I would try to do. But I'm not sure if it works in this one base scenario, because this is... like, you're banking on this doing damage right now. printf says, I think going across the map kills you momentum as the Zerg player. It does a little bit. But it does... I feel like the Protoss forced into 2 directions. Yeah. I mean, with how much economy you've sacrificed as Eggs, you need to do damage right now. To be fair, I just think this is a shitty response. I think it really shows just how clueless a lot of players... I'm not saying Eggs is a clueless player, but I'm saying I see so many players that face printf 12 pool. They're like, if I need to get the fastest 10 Zerglings on the map possible, otherwise I can't stop the cannon rush. And I see a lot more experienced players just be a lot more active with their drones, blocking the really key spots, and being really on top of that, and then being a bit more flexible in their response. Whereas the moment you go Overlord 14 pool, like, this is just such a janky opening. And the problem is as well, it's a very one-directional focus once you start going really fast double gas. If you get out some Zerglings, that forces a response from printf. I think what a lot of players have when they're getting cannon rush like this, especially at this high level where printf's very flexible, they don't seem to realize that printf adjusts based on what he sees. For them, it's like a cannon rush is a cannon rush, and there is just one flavor of cannon rush, and it tastes like shit, and they don't like it, and they don't like the cannons killing their Zerg things. But realistically, that's not the case. printf, if you're coming down here with Zerglings early, has to commit to more wall offs. If you're coming down here with a whole bunch of drones already, he's got to spend so much more money just walling off the cannons. He can't start probing behind it and getting the gas down just yet. You delay everything else out, and it's often within the reactions that you actually can gain an advantage. So you've got to learn to understand the interactions, the reactions, what you can do to force something, how you can force him to over-respond in one way, and then you can go another way. And I think the moment you do something like this, you're basically saying, I'm not going to interact with my opponent. I'm just going to rush for the fastest ravages and hope he doesn't have an answer for that. We saw printf does have an answer for that. So if you're going to do this, go for it even more. All in, do a 12 pool Ravager would be my advice for eggs or anyone else. I would go 12 pool Ravager, and I would be trying to hit and break this down even faster. That being said, I just feel like it's so much more interesting actually trying to interact with one of these builds, blocking the probes, trying to surround them, figuring out where the dangerous spots are, using patrol paths, changing your focus fire, and really being flexible and adjustable. I think until players, as soon as you just go for this, you're just saying, I hope you don't know how to respond to what I'm doing. But if you go down there with Zerglings, you fight with drones, you force layers of actions to go on, it becomes a much more interesting game, and it becomes a lot more skill-based as well. The moment you kind of throw your hands in the air and you try to go one base Ravager or 12 pool, you're just saying, I'm not good enough to fight this. And you're kind of putting yourself in a position where you're never going to get better against it as well, because you're trying to jump ahead and have the counter before it's even needed. And printf, he cuts corners when he sees you doing that. He understands all the branches and how to do it. So GG, well played. Another fantastic replay there from printf, and keep sending them in, buddy. Thank you very much for those lovely games. The art with how he does it is fantastic. I never would have thought of one gate Stalker, but that's exactly what you need. Is you just need to get Stalkers up when you're up against such a low economy Ravager player. Go for that, smash it. GG's. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. GG.